Alright, so here's where I'm at with that Bulldog 44. You guys seen the damage that was done to it before. I don't know, and I'll post some pictures in here of it, what it looked like in the auction. This was the worst gun I bought on Gunbroker. Hopefully I didn't mislead any of you guys. I bought this knowing the damage to it, knowing what was wrong with it. I'm like everybody else. I gotta save money if I want to buy an expensive gun, or pretty much any gun right now, new. Even these new are $500-600. I mean, that's a lot of money. So with this economy, the way everything's going, just like you guys, I have to save up. So it's hard for me to buy a brand new gun and there's videos out there extremely positive on these, and then there's a lot of videos from some big channels that say from the factory they got light primer strikes. There's been a few saying that they have timing issues. I don't know. I told you guys before in another video, the only Charter Arms I've ever owned in my life was the original Bulldog 44. It was made in the 1970s. Sold it to buy something else because back then I was young. That's how I had to get something. If I wanted something, I had to get rid of something to get something else. Now, I do know when Charcoal Arms took over Charter Arms that they had a lot of quality issues, this and that. And I know a few people that had them. I shot them. They were not the same gun. I haven't held, no dealer around me that I know of even has in stock the new Charter Arms since the original people from Charter Arms bought it back and are producing guns. This one, the timing was fine, but I'm not going to rate, fit and finish and all that off of a gun that looked like it fell out of somebody's holster when they were riding their motorcycle down the highway, or it looked like it got left on top of a car, drove and fell off going down the highway. I mean, this thing, you could see in the original video I did when I first got it, and in the pics I'm putting this video, this thing was beat up. I got it because I wanted it, and with all the crazy stuff going on the last few weeks in politics and everything else, I need something to distract my mind away from all that. I can't sit there and focus on that, on politics. It gets me angry. So this is the kind of stuff I do. Again, I'm going to try and get it to focus. But there's still a few little nicks here and there along here. I didn't want to take so much metal off that I weaken the gun. I took just enough off to make it look better, to clean it up. The front sight looks way better than it did. Obviously that nick there is going to be too big to take out. I mean, it is what it is. You guys have all seen my 357 Magnum. I love this gun. I went with similar, the same style with this one. This one is polished. It looks like chrome. Nothing wrong with that. This gun, the fit and finish was so perfect when it was brand new that's fine. If I would have went with the high polished on this, it would have showed the little dings and dents and stuff that I couldn't get out all the way more. So I tried to go with a brushed stainless steel look. I don't like the where it looks like it was just bead blasted. That finish, I'm not a big fan of it. So what I did is I went with 400 grit paper, and then I went over it with 600 grip paper after I took a file and cleaned up as much as I could, and tried to give it, I don't know if you can see it in there, but I tried to give it that brushed look where it's kind of shiny, but it's not polished. Of course, I contacted Sid. As soon as I won this, I contacted Sid, had him make me another set of grips for this, like on this one. You know, different design, but the same grip. I guess they call that a combat grip. Of course, Lady Luck on it, you know. Lady Luck on this one too. Hopefully I never have to use them in a self-defense situation. But I like that gun. I just wanted something that, not necessarily more powerful, but to me 44 Special, loaded right, has more stopping power. At close range, none of these guns are long range guns, although when I do the shooting video, I want to start out at like 15 yards, and I'm going to push this thing all the way out to 50 yards and just see how it groups. I mean, not expecting anything extravagant. This is not a target pistol. I just want to see if I can hit a target with 5 rounds in a stopping zone at 50 yards, or what the limits are. I like to know what the limits are of the gun I'm carrying. If I got into a self-defense situation at 50 yards, I'd go to prison, because there's no way you can claim self-defense at 50 yards that I know of. So, I wanted to do a shooting video this weekend on it. But all I have is half a dozen, well, no, I have about a dozen buffalo bore heavy 44 Special bullets like this. To me, that's not enough to do a shooting video. I ordered some brass. I have some bullets coming, thanks Tom. Not sure when they'll get here. I have everything else to load them once the brass and the bullets gets here. So what I did is, these are Blazer 44 mag, 240 grain hollow point. I used a bullet puller, pulled the bullets out of the 44 mag out of 10 of them, and I put the brass in a case trimmer. Well, on these it's aluminum, trimmed it back to 44 Special length, threw the powder that was in these away, because I'm not going to, I don't know what kind of powder it is. I'm not going to put it back in and guess at the charge weight or nothing else. So I loaded it up with my powder. These 250 grain bullets should be moving around 900 feet per second, according to the reloading manual. I'm not going to tell you what powder, what charge, because I just think that if something happens, I don't want to be liable or responsible. So I have 10 of these. I'm going to try and get out this weekend, shoot 10 of these, 5 of these buffalo bore, just to make sure that the gun runs and works and all that. First thing I did after I tore this thing apart to try and clean it up was I replaced the hammer spring. Still haven't shot this yet, but I'm going to eliminate any chance of weak primer strikes before it even gets there. I put a Wolf standard weight spring in this, and I bought a heavy spring just in case I need it. Like I said, this, when in the first video and this video, when I do the shooting video on this is not going to be a review. I can't tell you, because this gun was beat up. Who knows if any of the springs were changed in it before I got it, and I've changed the springs since. So I can't tell you if this gun was, how good the quality was, how good the fit and finish was, how good any of that was, because you've seen the pictures of it. And I feel like I would be lying. They may make a great product. I don't know. I bought the most beat up one I could find because that's what I could afford, and I wanted to do a video on it. And this being that it's going to be a carry gun, I mean, it's going to be in get holster wear. It's going to be getting lots of wear. So I didn't need a brand new gun. I just needed one that was safe to shoot, that, you know, was tight. I did email the guy before I bid on this. He said it was tight as a brand new gun. Everything worked as far as he knew, he didn't test shoot it, and it was bought from a dealer. But he said that it just, was beat up, and so they started to auction on a penny auction, and I ended up winning this, even with the price of the sandpaper, even with the price of the springs. I still have less than this than what it costs to buy a brand new High Point. And you all know I'm a revolver guy. I love snub noses for concealed carry, so this is perfect. Eventually, someday, I would like to find one of these in 45 Colt, just because I shoot so much single action. You guys know that the single action Colt clones are my favorite guns of all time, and as far as handguns go, Snubbies probably are second. So the grips are actually Smith & Wesson J-frame grips. I had to fit them to this frame, which required the use of some epoxy on the inside and that. They fit tight, they work. The only thing is the screw is kind of in the way when you cock this in single action. It doesn't come back quite far enough. If I force it, it will, but I don't want to bend that screw. So this is now literally a double action only gun. So I may bob the hammer, because this is going to be concealed carry anyway, so it really doesn't, it's actually better off without the hammer. So I may bob the hammer on this so that there's no hammer to catch on anything in that, but it's going to be double action only, unless I change the grips. But I'm a huge fan of Sidney Ryan grips. He doesn't pay me to talk about his grips. He doesn't give me any discount. I pay full price on them. And that's the thing with when I do videos and I talk about like grips, or if I talk about guns. When I did the video on the Henry didn't give me that gun, that mare's leg, I bought that. When I did my videos on the Kurst cartridge converters, Kurst did not give me them. And actually, I got a lot of respect for Kurst, because I actually talked to Walt Kurst on the phone before I bought the first one. Said, hey, is there any way you could send me one so I could do a review on it? And, I'll send it back when I'm done, or buy it if I like it, But that's a lot of money for a cartridge conversion, and I don't know, I've never shot one. I don't know how good they are, this and that. And he was just straight up honest. And I always respect people that are honest with me. He said, I do not give out for reviews, for anything, products. He said, as soon as I do it for one, everybody's going to expect it. And then if I don't do it, they're going to badmouth me, this and that. And you know what? Total respect to the guy. That's why I don't get any discount from Kurst. I promote their products. I have 3 of them. He makes a good product. I'm not going to sit here and bash this gun, because like I said, I bought the most beat up one that I could find. And if it does turn out good, I'm still not going to run around and praise this gun, because all the work I done to it before I even test shoot it. I'll just give you my opinion of this gun after I got done working on it. If I'm ever in a position to buy a brand new one, there's so many things I want. It's for me to buy a gun that I've never shot, that none of my buddies own or whatever. It's hard for me to drop $500-600 on something that I don't know how good it's going to be. I own lots of Colt clone single actions, Uberti and Pieta. Never ever had a bad one, so it's nothing. I don't mind dropping $500-600 for a Uberti or a Pieta, because I know I've had more than enough of them, brand new, unaltered guns, to know that they're good quality. So like I said, this isn't, if anybody took that I was bashing the company and bashing Gun Broker because I bought the worst gun. No, I intentionally bought the worst one I could find because it was cheap. I mean, stupid cheap, what I got into this. What I have into this, like I said, you couldn't buy a brand new High Point for, not counting the grips. I paid full price for the grips. Sidney Ryan just does really good work. He's really quick about it. I love the way, when you look at his grips, they age like real ivory. And so far, I've never had any problems with any of his grips, and I own 4 pairs of my own. I put pairs on my dad's guns for him. I've gotten pairs for friends and stuff and put them on them. I am thinking about actually getting a hold of Sidney Ryan, and at some point later on down in the future, when I have a little extra money, having a raffle on a set of grips. And what I would do, because of the fact that, you know, I don't want to buy a set of grips for a Smith & Wesson J-frame and then somebody wins and doesn't have a Smith & Wesson J-frame. What I would do is talk to Sidney and say, look, you know, here's this much money. Whoever wins, I'll send you their info, you know, have them contact you. I'll verify that they are the winner. Take that money I gave you, make a set of grips for them with whatever design, however they want. That's something I would like to do in the future, maybe next year. Like I said, and I want to do that because I love Sidney Ryan's grips. He does great work. Like I said, I can't offer discounts, nothing else. I pay the same price everybody else. I just really like his grips, especially his 1911 grips and his single action Army clone grips. But obviously I like his J-frame grips too, because this is the second set that I personally have bought, and I've bought in the past 1 or 2 sets of J-frame grips for other people for them. So anyway, that's where we're at. I'm going to try and shoot this today or tomorrow, but then I may just wait until I can load up, you know, 5 different loads, different powders, different grain weights and that, and then I can also, you know, see what's more accurate and all that. I did clean this thing up. Man, this thing was just roasted dirty. I mean, just so dirty and nasty when I got it. The barrel still has a little bit of leading in it that I would like to get out to before I shoot it, but that's where we're at with this for right now. The worst gun I ever bought. I am really happy with it. I think it's starting to turn out really good, and next we're going to be doing some shooting and test firing with it. Hope you all have a good day.